Hey guys, Snupy here. So on Reddit, a user called Artmeister has made a analysis of WoW arena stats like best damage, best healing, who's taking the most damage, who's doing the least healing, who has the biggest burst windows, and so on. It's really cool. It's all accurate. It's based on WoW arena logs, and the time period is covering is between the 21st and 28th of November. So basically the second week of the season. And yeah, let's dive into it. I mean, this makes sense. This does make sense. Okay, so damage per second. DPS. Okay, so Havoc DH on the top. Not much surprising there. I mean, I guess, but like this was the week after the nerf, right? Are they still on top like by that much? What the heck? But I mean, not that surprising. They still crank so much damage. And Aflok, you know, usually is the king of DPS. And you know, DH, you know, of course, also is crazy. The thing is, like, this is probably like largely single target. Well, this is, you know, full cleave. Alpha is always expected to does huge damage overall, you know. So yeah, then we have DK on a Holy Death Knight. Then we have Rep Paladin. We have Enhancement Shaman. Wait, that's surprising. Demoners overtook Afflictions as kings of all the DS. Subly Rogue still did the least damage over a course of a game by far. But I guess they can do a lot of damage. But I think they kind of die as well. And then we have Boomy. Devastation. They do a lot of damage. Then we got Windwalker Monk. Eli Shaman. Frost DK. I just want to say one thing, guys. But like this is not like this is S and this is F tier. Like you see Sub Rogue there, right? Sub being like low in DPS does not mean it's F tier. Okay, because Sub is all about bursting in certain windows. Like you can't really look at this and be like, yo, oh, this means this, not this, of course, DH is S tier, but it doesn't mean like this F tier. It's not like you can just go high hair is S tier and low hair is F tier. This is not how it works. So keep that in mind. I'm kind of surprised Feral isn't higher. I feel like Feral cranks really hard. SP, Survival, Outlaw, MM Hunter. Also like a spec that has like huge burst windows, probably a bit less damage overall. Fire Mage. I'm surprised about Fire though, being this low. But keep minus and shuffle and they're getting trained down every game, I guess, so it makes sense. Frost Mage, Aug Evoker. I guess Aug doesn't do much damage on their own anymore overall, but they still kind of buff their teams a bit. Arcane Mage and Sub Rogue. I think these two, even though like they're like the lowest on this pure damage list, these two are some of the best specs in the game. Right? Arcane as well. Steve says as well, Arcane is absolutely insane with Forset now. And Sub, of course, also a crazy good spec. But I do think since this is like 600 plus, Sub Rogue works better for like in the real higher rating where players really know what they're doing with the setups and such. But so actually, Sub Rogue overall probably, you know, it's not performing that well. Now, okay, this is burst. Okay, so which DPS specs do the most damage in a 5-second window? Okay, so Windwalker, number 1, he writes, Windwalker Monks flying on the radar with the highest possible burst. Frostgeese will perhaps surprise some near at the bottom. I guess, like, it's kind of like, it's not necessarily single target burst, it's just on everything. And Alpha can have pretty crazy cleave burst with the Soul Rot and everything, so I guess it makes sense. Frost Mage with the Glacial Spikes. Desert Warlock makes sense. MM also makes sense. Enhancement Shaman. Ascendance, I guess. Ellie, Devastation, yes. Havoc, yeah, the Hunt, Decree combination. On Holy DK, Rep Paladin, Feral Druid. They're all pretty high. I mean, kind of middle of the pack, I guess. Augmentation, they do have pretty good burst. They do. Like, Upheaval can still do up. Actually, that just got nerfed, though. Then we have Boomy, Survival Hunter, Fire Mage, Arcane Mage, Sub Rogue. I'm surprised Sub Rogue isn't higher. I don't know. Like, it just seems like Sub Rogue's spec just like performs like more in the top 1%, you know? Fury Warrior, BM Hunter, Asa Rogue, Frost DK, Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest, dude. Damn. Not that high. I feel like they can do a lot of bursts, but I guess you don't see many of them right now. Outlaw Rogue, Arms Warrior, and Demo Warlock has the least burst. That does make sense. Demo doesn't really do like crazy burst. They don't. They do a lot of damage overall, and they're quite tanky. As you can see, I mean, they did score fairly high on like the damage per second overall. But yeah, so that is the burst, guys, in a 5-second window. This is actually so cool to see. Like, the different stats, you know, because, like, you can't just, like, take one and then be like, yo, this is like, you know, sub trash and, or athlete's, like, the best spec in the game, whatever. But, or, like, here, you know, can't be like, oh, Windwalker has the best burst, best spec in the game. But, like, when you look at all the stats put together, it forms a picture, though, for sure. Damage per second, healers. Okay, so no surprise here. Disc doing the most damage out of all the healers by far. Disc Priest do so much freaking damage, man. It's insane. Then we have Preservation Evoker coming up next. But yeah, Holy Priest also looking pretty good on damage front. I guess Holy actually just got buffed all healing by 6%. Then we have Arsham, Holy Pala, Ardruid, and lastly, Mistrivers. But, you know, Fistriver would be higher, but I guess most Mistrivers probably just play, you know, Castweaver. Disc Priest being top in overall damage will perhaps surprise no one, but Mistriver Monks being the bottom, however, as Fistrivers will be counted in the same category, yeah. Well, I just, like, it just depends on how many are, because, like, if it was pure Fistrivers, you know, they'd probably be, like, around this area, I think. Burst on healers, guys. Which healers can do the most burst damage in a 5-second window? Okay, so Preservation Evoker number 1. I mean, they do have big bursts. They do, like with their breath, with their flame flying thing. They can crank very, very hard. Then we have Disc Priest, Arsham. Dude, Arsham burst can also peak high, man, huh? Holy Priest, Holy Pala, Ardruid, and Mistriver lastly. Not too surprising, this right here, but yeah, the Preservation Walkers do have some good damage. Okay, healing. Guys, effective healing DPS. Oh, no, guys. Guys, what spec, when you think about a hybrid DPS, what spec comes to mind? Or what specs, rather? Maybe you think about Red Paladin. Maybe you think about Feral or Druid. Boomy, Feral, like, you know, Druids. You're like, I would say, like, fantasy-wise, like, the most obvious hybrid. Which would be spec is the most healing over a game. Let's go through it. Affli. SP. Affli, by the way. Holy moly, man. I mean, guys, I'm actually playing Affli right now. They have crazy healing. Shadow Priest. Destro. Augmentation. Enhancement. Demo. Unholy. Ellie. Devastation. Fury. Havoc. Arms. Arcane. Frost again, Frost Mage, Fire Mage, Windwalker Monk, Red Paladin, Supply Rogue, Outlaw Rogue, Survival, Boomy, Feral. The only 2 DPS specs with less healing over a game than Feral Druid is Beast Mastery Hunter and Asa Rogue. I knew this was true just by playing the game, like I feel it. But still. Effective healing, healers. Which healers are the most healing over a game? Preservation actually highest up. That is quite surprising. Resto Druid, Mistriver, Holy Priest, Disc Priest, Arsham, and Holy Pala. Rip Holy Pala. They're kind of starting right now. Even though they do have a lot of heals, though. Doing good, man, Cheeks. What about you? Yeah, Cobus, you welcome? Yeah, so I mean, actually don't, man. Or like half of it, yeah? Best healing healers. How much can healers top people by in a 5-second window? Holy Priest, actually crazy bursty, like it's like Serenity and stuff. Disc Priest, Ardruid, Preservation Evoker, Arsham, sorry. Mistriver and Holy Pala. Dude, Holy Pala scoring like the lowest in all the healing things, man. Oh no, guys. Yeah, Guardian Serenity, you know, gives holy crazy burst healing. CC done. So like here's like where you see like Sub Rogue scored fairly badly in like overall DPS, right? And like you see this graph, and then it makes a bit more sense. Like why Sub, you know, is probably, you know, one of the best specs in the game, right? When you see this graph right here, because if you only saw one of the graphs for damage, you'd be like, yo, Sub sucks. It's like the least, but you know, it's definitely kind of catching up on it here with more CC by far. CC duration cost per second. Guys, imagine this graph before this CC nerf, by the way. Imagine. But yeah. Yeah, they're almost doing 1 CC per second. Like, overall, you know, in Shuffle. This is Shuffle, by the way, guys. Keep in mind. So, you know, it's multiple targets. All right. But yeah, so Rogue, Sub-Rogue by far, then Outlaw, then Asa. Makes sense. Feral actually scoring fairly high, even though, like, once you're gonna get down from these, right? Like, the difference on these specs, it's like 0.1, right? So, but Feral, we have stunts, right? And I think it also counts roots, I'm guessing. But, you know, we do have a lot of stunts for Feral. We also have Cyclone, so Feral can do a lot of CC. Then we have Survival Hunter, Demo, Shadow Priest, Destro, BM, Windwalker, Fury, Frost, Arms. Keep in mind, it's like the difference in all these, it's very small. Like, it's almost identical, like, you know, almost these specs here. So keep that in mind. Like, the biggest difference there is, like, I guess, like, Rogues, and then, like, here is a very small jump down. Yeah. Then we have Havoc, Ardruid, MM, Arcane Fire, Athlee, Frost, and Holy Devastation, Rets, Augmentation, Mist River, Holy Priest, Holy Pala, Preservation, Ellie, Enhancement, Ardruid, and then Disc Priest. Makes sense. Like, Disc Priest is not really pushing much for Ferris in some games, and yeah. No, Hamstring does not count as, you know, I guess, like, things that DR. I mean, that's my guess. Guys, damage taken. Okay, so here we see, guys, Enhancement Shaman taking the most damage on average every game. Oh, no, dude. Then Shadow Priest and Feral. I mean, honestly, not that surprising that, like, this is top 3. Actually, Shaman, I didn't expect Enhancement to be, like, number 1. But, yeah. SP, Feral. Then we have Frost DK, Boomy, Destro, Ellie, Fire, and Holy Devastation, Asa, Fury, Survival, Windwalker, MM, Outlaw, Repel and Arms, Frost, Mage, Athlee, Subly Rogue, Arcane, Augmentation, Havoc, Beast Mastery Hunter, Demonology Warlock, Preservation, Holy Pala, Arsham, Ardruid, Mistweaver, Holy Priest, and Disc Priest. So yeah, like in general, you can see like no one's really going healers, right? In Shuffle. It's all about going DPS, and it's all about killing the Shamans, Priests, the Druids, the Frosty case, and I guess also Warlocks, yeah. And Fire Mage, I thought would be a bit higher, to be honest. Very, very cool. Yo, big thanks to Arpmeister for kind of putting this together. I'll link it in chat too. Very, very cool. And so yeah, some pretty like eye-opening things in it for me as a Feral player. Like when you see the breakdown of like how little healing Feral's actually doing. But yeah, cool to go through though.